So melodic production plugins are not for the faint of heart. Take a look at this screen, man. So this is MXXX, and I have it routed as a MIDI instrument. So basically that's playing all this stuff right here. This is 6 different things. So one of them is M Sound Factory. Another one is M Power Synth, and you can obviously choose, all different kinds of presets. This little view here is the actual synthesizer. Another is M Drummer. That's where you heard some percussion sounds. I have another instance of M Power Synth, another of M Sound Factory, and another of M Power Synth. This is one instance of MXXX. And you can also then load all these other effects in this little matrix grid here. Now that you can only load 6 of these instruments at a time, but that's fine with me because I think I'm good with 6. But anyways, so that's the technical side of that. But then you add, so you have the edit menus and all this stuff as well. And then you also have the fact that in M Sound Factory, you're unlocking all of the sounds that come with M Sound Factory. So if you got the trial version of M Sound Factory and you can't get to those sounds, well, now you have access to like gigs and gigs of sound, and the same goes with M Drummer apparently. And to engage the drum sounds as just drum hits, you simply engage drum pad mode. And to get this whole thing up and running on Logic, you go to the instrument. First of all, you create a software instrument. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. And then you go down here to AU MIDI controlled effects, and you select obviously MXXX, right? And then you would load the stuff over here. But another thing I want to mention is, so we have all these other modulator parameters. You can modulate all the different things, but you're not just doing it like within one instrument. You're doing it within all 6 of these, and then you have also the fact that because it's MXXX, you can load like additional plugins and then make mappings to those as well with the modulators. And the modulators are like these complex things you can do, routings of different kinds of filters and changes and hardware stuff to make subtle changes or hard changes to your effects. Now another cool thing is that you can go here and set up comparisons. So like A is not going to have, or A is going to have all your instruments. But if you go to B, you got another one. So you can open up 6 more, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can kind of do an XY thing to get an idea of what's going on with all of these different sounds and create, in more instances in all these, various comparison modes. That's how deep this plugin is. I mean, it's just, you could spend so much time on just this one system. It's incredible. But what gets me is that you can get access to these sounds now. And so I really, really get a kick out of this system. MXXX, there's nothing like it in the world. And the main thing is really to develop your own effects palette. And so you basically have like a harmonizer or a TC electronic fireworks on steroids with melodic production, because you have granular synthesis, you have incredible reverbs, you have all this stuff. It's digitally extensible, it's interfaceable with the DAW. It just goes on and on. You have the melodic modulators. You really could do like a full-time college course on Melda systems because they are so sophisticated with the amount of stuff they got going on. These people are ahead of the game. And I tried the stuff with crossovers too, because that's another way you can have multiple instruments going on with these systems. It's a little different with the crossovers though. So I don't think you can trigger these because of the MIDI limitations. So you can't trigger them again here and then trigger them again in a different crossover. So that's just one thing, but that's nothing. I mean, but what's also interesting about this is that's one version of MXXX, but then you can of course load up multiple plugins. That's one track. So you got one track that's making 6 instruments simultaneously. Incredible.